What is going on, Governors? Chisgule here, and today we're bringing you more KVK madness. What you're watching is 10 hours approximately after the past level 4 opened. We've got at least 6 flag rallies in this video, some open field combat. We're going to captain some stuff, and we're going to talk about what happens to a kingdom, what happens to an alliance that gets pushed back into Zone 1. If you like Rise of Kingdoms videos that are all about KVK, you should definitely like and subscribe, because we are a sponsored creator with Rise of Kingdoms, and we've got a lot of KVK footage to cover. Oh my goodness. Now, we're going back and forth between these two flags, captaining them both getting rallied at the same time, which is kind of crazy. We're rocking a Richard I Charles Martel pairing and an Yi Seong-Ye with, actually, I'm not even sure who the secondary is. Might be Freddy. I don't think it's Sun Tzu. Oh wait, it might be Sun Tzu. It might be Sun Tzu, actually. That looks like Sun Tzu AoE, which is kind of nuts. And you can see all the free value we're getting here. It's insane. When you're defending a flag and you do area of attack damage, you get kills on folks that are nearby. So here we had 116k die. They had only 70k die. But from AoE damage, they got another 26k that died. And they had... Oh, I keep getting scouted. It bumps the report back to the top. Okay, so that particular rally went pretty well for them, actually. In this one, 227,000 died for us, 252,000 died for them, then another 20k, then another 21k, then another 57k, then another 89k, then another 11k, then another 61k, then another 28k. Oh, I got scouted again. It bumps the report back up. I really need to favorite them first and then look at them, and I think that'll fix it. Then another 8k that we killed. So it's pretty crazy how many kills you can get with that AoE. It's pretty darn crazy. It's actually insane. So if you're defending a flag, you really want to do something I described in a prior video, which is a little captain swap, where you put in those AoE commanders as soon as there's a bunch of targets hit. For now, you can see that we're back in a different location. We're in the open field with a couple armies. Well, we've got those two commander pairings still back in the flags, doing some defense. We send out Scipio now with Joan of Arc as the secondary, just to get some buffs rolling for everybody nearby, because we figure that's a pretty good idea. And it's a little bit tricky to manage the armies. I guess the way I could have been doing that is to double tap on any one of them. But when you've got like a massive armies that are packed together like that, it can be really hard to select them. And you can see my armies went back to town. Now, the advantage of fighting right outside your town is you should let your armies go back to town so that you can refresh them and bring full armies back out onto the field again to do work. The key is that you make sure that you've got your army presets all set up really nicely in advance to make that really smooth and easy. So we get a look in the flag. You can see, yes, it is in fact Yi Seong-Ye with Sun Tzu. We're moving that commander pairing around. It looks like maybe we're moving our Richard pairing around to cover different flags. We did this flag leapfrog game a whole heck of a lot. And actually, we found that if we tried to do this with full armies, it was very hard to jump into a flag to captain it. Often we sent smaller armies, and that's also in part because, and I'll just cover this now, you're going to see that I joined some of these flags with less than full armies. I'm going to lose over the course of this video series about just past 4 opening and the subsequent days. I'm going to lose over 800,000 troops. And if I had been sending full armies for every single one of these, I would have probably zeroed myself. So here we try to make our way into the flag right before the rally gets there, and we're going with a Richard-Charles combination. We call to be made the captain. I'm not sure it's going to happen, though. We'll see how quickly this happens. I can't make myself captain because I'm not the warlord or the alliance leader. I say, like, hey, do it quickly because my tech is better. Boom, we're captain. Okay, that was fast, actually. We're in the action. They've got Barca with Richard, in my opinion. Terrible combination for rallying a flag, but I'm cool with them using that if that's what they want to do. I think Barca is sort of interesting because you're on enemy territory, and that means you're going to get the 15% damage boost from the 4th skill on Hannibal Barca. You've probably got a mixed army anyways, and here we send and gosh, I wish we'd been doing more of this. We send out Barca with Joan of Arc as the secondary. No, wait, we didn't send them. What happened? We totally should have sent that army. Come on. And then we send Freddy. No. We should be buffing the flag. We should be buffing the flag. Instead, we're battling these armies in the open field, which I think is a waste. We really should be hitting the rally. There we go, Joan of Arc. But Joan of Arc still, we're not doing that next to the flag, which again is a mistake. Jup looks like he's doing the thing that we should be doing, which is hitting the rally. That's a smart play. That's a smart play if you've got the T5 to do that with. If you've got T4, you're just going to get wrecked doing that sort of an activity. And the good news about what we're doing here is we're basically creating a bottleneck for reinforcements to get to the rally. I don't think they're getting there as quickly. We realized that because an army was defeated or retreated or something, that our army went back to town, so we send them back out again. It's kind of hard to control your armies. You can see all my armies went back to town again because I'm fighting so darn close to my town. So having these army presets ready to go is really important. The other thing that gets really tricky with your army presets is that over time in this kind of combat, you're going to have troops get injured, and you're going to have to improv a little bit with your distribution of the exact troop types that you're putting into the army. Because, for instance, if you had all T5 in the army originally and you start to run out of that T5 unit, for instance, I started to run out of max army of T5 cavalry, then you got to fill with T4s to make that happen, and that's an adjustment you have to make on the fly. So hopefully we get a look at this rally report, because it looks like the rally has in fact ended. We're so focused on the open field combat here that it's hard for us to do that. We're now picking off armies using a combination of 3 armies going in at a time, a murder ball, if you will, getting into the fray. And I mean, yeah, they want to take this on our alliance territory, which is obviously a mistake. Good for us, bad for them. We'll do a little bit of work here, and it looks like they're targeting possibly my. It looks like I'm using Hannibal with Scipio. Like, ugh. Yeah, army presets really matter a lot. Scipio. Yay. We're going to start using some healing speed ups, given that we have, given that we've been helped the max number of times, which I think we checked to see if that was the case. I mean, there's a lot of people online, so like, look at those helps. They're going to just pour right in, and it should go pretty fast. Now, let's see if we find this battle report with the flag, because that's the thing we really want to see. We've got these open field combats where, you know, we win some exchanges, we lose some exchanges. It's kind of crazy with an open field of this nature, because people are going in and out of cities, refreshing their armies, all that sort of good stuff. You can see here, these trades did go mostly positive, and I'll call attention to the fact that the reports are, we're going to watch these at 1x speed. The rally footage, we're going to watch at 2x speed. So the open field combat, the rallies, that's all at 2x speed. What we're watching now is at 1x speed. I learned that from prior videos that I'm going through these reports way too fast, even though you can pause. Ooh, here we go. We have 109,000 die. They have 189,000 die. I mentioned that combo is not particularly great in my opinion. And we don't get any freebie kills because we're not using AoE commanders, and there wasn't really anybody nearby to get freebie kills, right? There wasn't really anybody nearby. So that rally went pretty well for us. Defense is the preferred position to be fighting a war in, because you have 100% of the severely injured that you inflict be deaths, and the only 50% of the severely injured you receive will be deaths. 50% go to the hospital. So we got a lot of these reports from the open field. I mean, you can see they were mostly good for us. And you would expect that, given that we could keep refreshing our army. We do lose some of those exchanges. But, you know, overall, a lot of that went pretty well. Look, somebody's using Lohar. Did a lot of work against that. We got reports for days. We captained something like 65 different rallies, and yeah, over the next week or two, we're going to keep showing hour by hour all of this insane footage, and it is just insane. Let's switch gears a little bit while you're looking at these reports and talk about something I promised at the start of this video, which is, you know, what happens to an alliance What happens to a kingdom that is forced back into the first zone? Ooh. P.S. It looks like somebody thought it was a good idea to solo attack into Richard, which it looks like I've probably got on the flag. Oh, baby, and now Locos is reinforcing it. Man, let me tell you, I don't remember doing as much with Yi Seong-Ye and Sun Tzu. But apparently I did a lot more with that pairing than I remember. I suppose, theoretically, I've been up at this point since 2 in the morning. And it's now, at the time of this footage, I maybe 10 in the morning. So, yeah. This rally report went pretty darn well for us when you look at all these extra kills that we got. Bunch of extra kills that we scored there. Another rally coming in. I wonder who we have in the flag this time. Oh, of course, Yi Seong-Ye. And you can see there are a couple armies parked nearby. Watch the damage numbers here. We see, boom. We see solid Sun Tzu hit, boom. And then the AoE from, it looks like, oh, there it is. Yeah, there it is. That AoE from Yi Seong-Ye doing work. It seems like sometimes, but not all the time. I don't know. Those numbers may or may not be working. I can't tell exactly what's happening. Well, that's one army that was defeated, so that looks pretty good. And it looks like we're sending another commander pair over here. There we go. Boom. Swap the captains now that the armies nearby have pretty much been melted. I think this is a strong strategy in some ways, a weak strategy in others. I feel like Richard and Charles is the stronger pair. But when you just factor in that AoE value, you really do get more value when you rock the Yi Seong-Ye combination. The problem is we're telling people to reinforce archers, right? But the Richard Charles combination really wants you to have infantry, so you don't get quite as much value as you could. Now, this rally, we have 130,000 die, they have 190,000. Then they have 60,000, 30,000, 74,000, all died from AoE. Savage, right? And I don't know if their rally report reflects all of that damage that we inflicted. Like, I think each individual player will get a report from the damage they received. Oh, wow, another rally on this flag. This time we've got Richard and Charles already at the helm. My gosh, how many rallies are in this video? They're using Mehmed II and Yi Seong-Ye, so they're getting some sweet AoE value this time around. It looks like we've called for infantry preferred, which is really, really good, given the way that this rally is going. That's really, really solid for us. I suppose and you can see they're getting some AoE value. They hit some folks on their way into a flag. Weirdly enough, you would think that the army attacking the flag would inflict 50% deaths on the people nearby, but I don't think it does. I looked at a number of reports and that was not the case. So even though you inflict 100% deaths out if you're defending the flag, the people that are rallying the flag do not inflict deaths on things other than the flag. Now, you can see they stacked around the flag, and we switched to Yi Seong-Ye. Oh my goodness! Look at that damage. So savage. I mean, these armies are just getting... they probably just do not realize what's about to happen to them, and that they're getting super, super wrecked. Wow. I'm actually really eager to see this report. This is going to be nuts. Look at that. Look at this damage. Look at this damage. Oh, those are armies that are retreating now. They've taken so much damage. Completely defeated. Boom. Swapping back because there's not as much to do AoE to. We could have got a little more value out of that probably, but whatever. We swap back to infantry. Theoretically, this is a flag full of infantry anyways. Oh, it looks like we needed to re-up on our War Frenzy. Wish we noticed that a little bit sooner, but oh well. Re-up that War Frenzy. This is looking like we might need to swap back to AoE. And by the way, I really wish that these folks have been baited closer to the flag. Like if you're going to do that combat near the flag, bait them in toward the flag so that we get that extra damage and we can switch to the AoE and just totally wreck them. But anyways, combat going around near the flag, but not on it. Rally is canceled, which I think they should have done a little bit sooner. We have 293,000 die. They have 424,000 die. And then here comes the madness, right? And then 6,000, 5,000, 30,000, 77,000, 38,000, 65,000, 16,000. I mean, we inflicted a lot of deaths from that AoE value. I mean, people are just not prepared for Yi Seong-Gye to just completely savage. Oh, baby. All right. All right. What's next? What's next? While we wait for that. Oh, yeah. Look at this. I'm even saying, like, that AoE gets big positive trades, right? Like, we're getting 2 or 3 to 1 value from that rally, which is really pretty good. Here, we're running to another flag. I mean, we spent an unbelievable amount of time. A truly unbelievable amount of time running around between these flags. Like captaining here, there, boom, 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 boom. I mean, we were just all over the place. All over the place, trying to get our captains in the right places, trying to buy time and buy space for the rest of Legion and other alliances to do work in other parts of the map, frankly. We're healing up in this hospital again, trying to keep that hospital low. And here we really should have been more careful in jumping around between cities. Boom. We do our leapfrog. Boom. And we're making our way over via leapfrogging. Okay, while that's happening, let's talk about the topic that I was trying to talk about earlier, which is what happens to a kingdom? What happens to an alliance that gets pushed back into the first zone in KVK? And, you know, a whole bunch of people ultimately leave the kingdom and get frustrated. And that is to be expected. It's a video game. Kingdom swapping is relatively easy. The folks that are in Legion are pretty high power. So, like, they got the ticket to go wherever they want. You know what I mean? So some number of people leave their alliances. Some number of people leave the kingdom. And what I want to point out is that something really interesting happens after that initial wave of departures, which is that I would argue that at this moment in time, the alliances of the kingdom in Kingdom 51 are more aligned than ever. Which is fascinating. The alliances in our kingdom are more united than ever. Ooh, here it looks like Jup Jup is captaining. That's exciting. Jup Jup has an expertise Del Cid, and like when I captain, it's good. But when he captains and it's full archers with expertise El Cid and Yi Seong-Gye, I mean, that is just terrifying. This is going to be a terrifying Savage report. Look at all these people getting eaten up by the AoE. And you know what else is amazing about using El Cid as the primary is that people may not see and know to be afraid that there's an Yi Seong-Gye. Because Yi Seong-Gye doesn't have some big animation that's like really identifiable. We know that Yi Seong-Gye is the secondary. They may not know it, so they may not realize that they're just getting savaged by that AoE damage. Anyways, a bunch of people leave alliances, a bunch of people do leave the kingdom, and so, you know, for Legion, that means that we pretty significantly lower the power to join our alliance. So right now, for instance, it's like 20 million power as the minimum to join up with Legion. And like, look, you got to recognize that if you do join, you're signing up for a pretty tough situation. Like we're locked into the first zone for KVK, and you know, at some point when it makes sense, maybe we try to battle our way out. But it's not the best situation in the world. So, you know, folks can join, but it's a tough spot to join into. Anyways, we see Master Leo on the screen. Think Twice also on the screen. But folks going into that flag to reinforce it. I mean, this is a pretty long rally. More archers getting in there. We see Bujan also attacking the rally, which is good. That's a smart play. Some open field combat going on around this flag. This report is going to be really interesting. I was about to say they really should cancel the rally. Finally, they did. So we've got 145,000 dead. They have 244. Then 30,000, then 4,000, then 79,000, then 28,000, then 11,000, then 20,000, then 21,000, then 9,000, then 4,000, then 1,700, then 16,000, then 3,000, then 6,000. I mean, that AoE value is doing work. If you can play defense, that's a much better position from which to fight battles. Hopefully you've enjoyed this latest installment in the KVK Mayhem. We've got dozens of hours of additional footage. We're still in like the first 12 hours after the pass has opened. There's another 3.5 days of crazy between now and a previous video where I showed the Legion Fort getting burned. So if you did enjoy this video, please do like and subscribe. And until next time, my friends, you have fun smashing the kingdom.